Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back today for another video. So this video is going to be covering a lot of different areas, mainly focused on Battlegrounds. But one thing I want to talk about before we get into any of that is that MCOC is coming to PC for everyone. So you guys may have remembered me or some other YouTubers, making some videos playing MCOC on PC. And it was really cool. It was really fun. I really enjoy being on PC for not so much for gameplay, but for like crystal openings or like account tours or like anything where I'm not really fighting and I'm just in other aspects of the game. I feel like it's much better on PC. And that's not to say that I don't like fighting on PC either. We have a little video here, and you'll notice Mike's playing on his phone here, and Dave is on PC, but Dave has a controller. So, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, any of those controllers are going to work. We're going to be compatible with MCOC on PC.
And you could be one of the first ones to download. But before doing that, there is something that you got to do.
Pre-registration is now open. Head to our website, submit your email, and secure your access to the PC build of MCOC. It's that simple.
Not only will you receive an
We get rewards
and profile picture in-game, you'll also get rewards based on the total number of summoners who pre-register between now and launch. The more summoners that register, the more rewards get unlocked. So make sure to spread the news if you want to hit the final milestone.
Playing Marvel Contest of Champions has never been more exciting, and it's about to get even bigger. Pre-register now to ensure you don't miss your chance to play with over 300 of your favorite superheroes and supervillains on PC. As for the launch date, well, we'll keep you posted. Stay tuned.
So yeah, guys, that is MCOC on the PC. So I'll have a link to this in the description. It's super simple. I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like. So leg spiker. It's my free-to-play account. So I'm gonna, like they just said, the more people that pre-register, the more rewards we get. So I'm gonna do it on both accounts. So literally just put your email in, pre-register, and that's it. Done. So this is gonna be the profile pic. And then we got some rewards here, some 7-star shards, some catalysts, tier 6 class catalysts. And then if we get to milestone 5, 200,000 signups, we'll get a 7-star for Valiant, Paragon and up. So yeah, just wanted to cover that first thing in this video. All right, next thing I want to cover is that Battlegrounds have been buffed. But there is currently an issue with Battlegrounds, and Kabam did talk about that as well. So let's discuss that as well here. So Battlegrounds Season 28 shortened victory track. What is going on, summoners? As you may have noticed, Battlegrounds launched this afternoon with 2 solo events instead of 1. This resulted in summoners from landing the Gladiator Circuit last season to start the victory track in Vibranium 2, which is a bit higher than intended launching point. Vibranium 2, meaning you need to win 4 matches, and then boom, you're in the Gladiator Circuit already. So we fixed the duplicate solo event and decided to leave the starting point at Vibranium 2 for impacted summoners. All the victory track rewards that you skipped will be earned when you play your 5 matches to start the season as usual. Please note this is not a permanent change, and starting seeding will return to normal in Season 29 next season. Additionally, the new Radiance objectives did not launch with the start of the season. If you're a Battlegrounds fiend and already reached the Gladiator before they appeared, you can still claim the objective by playing 1 additional match. Everything should now be in order. Best of luck in Season 28. So that's good to know. So that is why I am essentially already in the Gladiator Circuit here. You can see I only had to play 4 matches. See, I played 1 match earlier, just kind of learning the meta a little bit, and Serpent's pretty crazy, this meta, dude. You're definitely gonna want Chavez. This was a rank 4 Serpent. You can't see now, but this was rank 4 Serpent with rank 3 Chavez. This meta is pretty crazy. But yeah, you can see it only took me 4 matches plus 2 medals, plus 2 medals, plus 2 medals, plus 1 medal, and then boom, I'm in the Gladiator Circuit. So starting in Vibranium 2 was crazy, and it allowed me to, get all of these rewards super duper quick. All these, there's 10,000 Titan shards here, light essence, the MCOC emote, all that stuff. Just boom, got it super quick. So that's great, dude. This season is already off to an incredible start, already in the GC. So now that I've been in GC, I have also gotten my 10k Radiance, which is very neat. And then there is more Radiance, not in the Battlegrounds tab, but in the Special tab here. And so these are, you know, if you hit 100 points or 200 points, and then boom, if you reach those thresholds, you're going to get more Radiance. Now, what can you do with Radiance? Well, the Radiance store is now live in-game. And it looks just incredible, dude. This is what Battlegrounds needed. I am so glad, you know, I took that almost 2-month break from spending and told Kabam how much I wanted Battlegrounds fixed. You guys told them how much you wanted it fixed. So many other YouTubers came out with videos, and we freaking did it, guys. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. We did it, man. Battlegrounds, so much better now. Here we have a GG emote. We have high-level potions and revives in here for a pretty good price. We have the Deathless Piece selectors, which are just so incredible to see, man. I love to see this. We got the full-on mastery point. So, you know, this will allow you, for all your mastery setups, to have 1 additional point spec if you pick this up. So that's a pretty big deal. Sig stones, boosts. And then we got full-on Titan crystals for 75,000 Radiance. Some loyalty and incursion crystals as well. We got units. We got tier 7 basic. Like, I'm just loving, absolutely loving this store, dude. Trying to figure out where I'm going to be doing my spending. So one last thing, you know, and the way to get the bulk of Radiance is depending on where you end, you know, for the season. So my goal, I'll say this right now, my goal for this season, first season back, is 100% going to be Celestial. I'm just shooting for Celestial 5. This would be a great jumping back point for me. And I am definitely tempted and want to push higher, but unfortunately, for the final week of the season, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be actually on my first ever cruise. So, yeah, I will not be around to be playing the game. So the goal is to, you know, grind a lot before then and try to get into a very nice point total where I can just chill and have C5 secured. So that's kind of the plan. There's going to be a lot of Battleground streams. And, you know, as long as I get Celestial 6, I'll still be happy. But anything below that, I'm not going to be happy. So I'm going to be grinding. And then, yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about this current season that just started, the current beta. So we have Sorcerer Striker. So this is whenever a Mystic Champion activates Striker, they steal 30% of the defender's max power. And while a Mystic Striker is active, the defender cannot gain power from being struck. So then we have Feat of Energy 1. So when the attacker reaches 1 bar of power, the defender gains a power gain buff, granting 100% of a bar of power over 4 seconds. This is a very big deal. This is a lot of power gain, and it happens very early in the fight. You know, the moment you get to 1 bar, it happens. So it's pretty crazy. Then there's also inevitable power efficiency. So for each buff the defender has gained, they receive a power charge. Upon hitting 8 of these charges, they gain a power efficiency passive for 7 seconds. During this time, all buffs and defenders cannot be nullified or staggered. So what a power efficiency does, you know, is if they throw a special 2, then they'll still have 1 bar of power left because of the power efficiency. They only use up half of the power they have when they use it, essentially. So it's just a lot of power gain. So this is for the gladiators, for the victory track, and then this 1 extra node is added once you get into the gladiator circuit. Feats of Indestructible 2. So when you get to 2 bars, they gain an indestructible buff. So I'm trying to give you guys some tips for getting through that victory track and just for dealing with this meta because it can be pretty crazy. So we're going to go over my deck. So some key champs that are in the deck here. You know, Serpent, of course. Serpent is going to be one of the biggest bullies this meta. Biggest things to be looking out for. America Chavez is going to be your best counter for him with all the crazy power gain here. She's just so good at, you know, inverting that power gain that Chavez is absolutely a top option. Now, Kushala is actually a little bit weird this meta, because Kushala, she applies those buffs that do nothing with her lights, and that can actually trigger this inevitable power, because remember, for each buff the defender has gained, they receive a power charge. When they hit 8 of those charges, they get the power efficiency. So Kushala is actually kind of, the way she works is kind of a disadvantage when you use her. It's a bit what's the word that I'm looking for? It's a bit detrimental to you in some matches, in some instances, because you're giving the opponent that power efficiency. Now, that's not to say Kushala is like, you should take her out of the deck for this meta, because she can still be good. Just be careful if you're using Kushala. Be ready for that power efficiency to trigger, because you're gonna be triggering it. So that's just one thing to look out for. As far as some other Mystic options go for Serpent, actually, who is gonna be? I tried Spiral against Serpent. It didn't go very well, but I think that was more of a user error on my fault. Count Nefaria did a pretty good job against Serpent. We also have some matches that we can go ahead and take a look at here. So that one wasn't too crazy, but here. So yeah, here I was able to use Kushala successfully. It was a little sketchy, but we made it work. This was a bit of a lucky fight. I had it with Stark Spidey here against Bullseye. Lucky that he died when he did. Yeah, here was my Spiral against Serpent. It did not go very well, but again, that was more so user error. This was like the first time I even did Spiral versus Serpent, and first time this meta for sure. What else we got? Juggernaut is always cooking pretty much. This meta is no different. Yeah, so here was some Count Nefaria against the Serpent. And this was this rank 4 Serpent? I don't know if it was rank 4 or rank 3. I think it might have just been rank 3. But we managed to control the power gain the entire fight. Serpent did not go to a special 3 one single time. So it's a very slow fight, but it's very safe with Count Nefaria. So it is safe with him. What else we got here? Stark Spidey. Prowler. Yeah, Prowler's pretty good this meta just because he's able to have, such good power control. What else we got here? Werewolf did a pretty good job. Yeah, Stark Spidey has definitely been... Stark Spidey's always an MVP for me, but this meta especially because, by the time that you're ramped, you don't have to deal with the power gain until you're ramped. Just dex your 10 times, then you're ramped, then you can start dealing with that power gain, and by that point, you end the fight so fast. It's fine. So yeah, Stark Spidey's definitely an MVP this meta, as always. Crossbones, definitely an MVP this meta. He's able to just, turn off the power gain stuff, and I believe the feats of Indestructible too, so Crossbones can just turn the nodes off. This was against a rank 4 Red Skull. Spot did alright. Nothing too crazy. And then we had one final match here. Oh, this Bullseye destroyed me. We had a Think fight that went pretty well, and then, this Medusa fight. So, yeah, some of my absolute MVPs, I would say, for this meta for attack. For attackers, some MVPs, I would say, is definitely Chavez. She's going to be so good for controlling that power. Count Nefaria is a bit of an MVP just because no matter how crazy the power or regen is going to get, he's going to control it. He's not going to be fast. Don't expect Count Nefaria to be fast, but he will control it. He's never going to let the opponent get to special 3. It doesn't matter how crazy the power gain gets. He's able to control it, which is really, really powerful. Crossbones, definitely an MVP. Spider-Ham, a potential MVP. Stark Spidey, definitely an offensive MVP. I'd say Jugs, too, just because he's able to end fights so fast. Yeah, then we have some defensive MVPs. Sentinel. Sentinel is a big one. I use Sentinel a lot on defense so far, and he's done good pretty much every single time because, the thing about Sentinel is once he gets into his max analysis, he already basically has a power efficiency built in. So then when you stack that his own built-in power efficiency with just more power gain from the nodes, if you get to a barf power, that's a lot more power, a lot more special for Sentinel to have to throw. And then if you also stack all of that on top of an additional power efficiency from the node, potentially, if he gets to 7 or 8 of those charges, like, it's just going to be ridiculous. So I think Sentinel is definitely one of the best defenders in this meta for sure. Highly recommend rocking Sentinel on defense. And if your opponent has him, be on the lookout. If you don't have Sentinel in your deck and your opponent does, I would definitely recommend just banning him. Just ban him. You don't have to deal with that. Bullseye, you know, when you're fighting Bullseye, you can try to use the power gain to your advantage to push him to special 2s instead of having to bait a special 1. There's definitely some instances where you can try to use that power gain to your advantage. Yeah, Photon and Domino are some also MVP defenders that I've been finding, just because they can get so annoying with that power gain. Just getting to their special 2s when you're not kind of ready for it. And just Domino, dealing with Domino, and especially if they don't have a good counter to her in the first place, that with all the power gain, more luckies, more unluckies, it's just going to be annoying to deal with. And Photon, just, yeah, if you trigger her pure light and she's below a bar, but then you go above a bar, she gets the power gain, all of a sudden she's in her pure light form and she has a bar or 2, and the next thing you know, she's throwing it. That's already happened to me in this meta, so I think Photon definitely going to be a pretty powerful defender this meta. So yeah, guys, that's my early analysis on everything. You know, the season just started today, but I am in the GC. I technically have not lost in this meta yet, but very limited matches so far. But that is the early on advice that I have for you guys, and I'll just go over the deck one final time so you guys can see. I'm feeling pretty good about this deck. But yeah, guys, so that is just kind of a catch-up on everything MCOC news related, the PC stuff, all the new Battlegrounds stuff, the Radiance, some MVPs for the Battlegrounds Victory Track season. It's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. We're back to posting a lot of Battlegrounds content and Battlegrounds-centric topics on the channel. I hope you guys are ready for that. I really miss Battlegrounds, and I'm just so happy that they're back and better than ever. It's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a great, wonderful day. Peace.